Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WPC LAN Finals Day number 2, presented by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD, joined here by Merlini.
Hello.
Of course, we've got Mont observing, so if anything is missed, you all know who to blame. He's already imbibing. Brian's cat is apparently already drunk. She just fell off of the table at the thought of Mont observing. So you know it's going to be a good night, guys. Of course, today is Group A. So Group A are the top 3 Asian teams. There was a Asian preliminary stage as well as a Western preliminary stage. And today we've got the top 3 teams from the Asia division and Cloud9 who finished first from the Western qualifier. So Cloud9, DK, Vici Gaming, Newbie, all 4 of these teams duke it out purely for seeding, Ben. But then they'll play the teams from Group B in the playoffs. And with that being said, Game 1 is underway. It's DK versus Vici. Let's check it out.
It's a pretty damn scary group.
Yeah, that is a stack group. Although DK has looked really lately. There's still DK though. At some point, it's like Navi. Navi's been kind of, I'd say, slumping a bit lately. But you expect they'll hit the kill switch when it really counts.
They're one of the most talented teams, but inconsistent at times, and they're streaky too. It's not like game to game. Sometimes some days are just like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? So it looks like a Enchantress first pick for DK. Pretty good. Some aggression.
That Lanham jungle action. He's such a versatile support player. I mean,
Yeah,
he didn't even used to play support only. He was playing everything for Rattlesnake. I remember there was a single best of 3 where he once played solo mid-storm, offlane Clockwork, and jungle Enchantress all in the same series. What a player.
Talented.
You agree, Fogged? He agrees. Lanham's quite a player. He was impressed by that Ethereal Blade Sandkeen the other day. Yeah. But it was a first pick Enchantress, something we don't see very often, so maybe DK just kind of looking to catch Vici off guard with the draft and put them out of their comfort zone. In terms of the bans, I'd say very standard. The RTK Doom got removed right away, something that Vici really liked to play around with. And, well, Vici go much more kind of stable. Offlane Clock, Ancient Apparition, setting up for maybe not a full-on global strat, but a lot of pick-off potential. Spectre's probably a fairly high priority carry to either ban or be prepared for, and we'll see where they go from here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what DK is going to pick up as their other support, whether there's going to be like a Shadow Demon and very aggressive or something else of that nature. So, Ancient Apparition still highly prioritized in the Eastern scene. He's just, I don't know. I feel like he's overrated.
Ancient Apparition.
He's decent, for sure. But like against an aggressive support like Enchantress, who can just completely crush them and potentially shut down their tri-lane and interrupt this farm. We'll see.
Yeah, and Vici picked into the AA after seeing the edge, so obviously they have a lot of faith in this pick.
Yeah, it does set up nicely with Clockwork. You have some good follow-up damage and some decent anti-push, something which DK may opt for early with Ench and NP.
The main thing is he does need his levels early on, and we'll see what DK look to follow up the Ench pick with. There's 2 main ways to go here. There's the just pick 3 strong solos and then have Ench +1 roam, or just Ench roam and another support pulling, or there's the potential for an aggressive tri-lane run that Prophet, probably safe lane solo, maybe solo mid if they want to go that route, and just look to roll over the defensive lane for Vici Gaming. And we'll see which approach DK takes. They ban out Morphling. They ban out Dragonite, so banning well, just a stable solo mid in the Dragonite and a hero that combos really well with Ancient Apparition in the Morphling.
Whoa, Earthshaker. I don't think I've seen him once since they changed the creep redirect.
They're a bit worried about this aggression from DK, I feel.
Yeah. They can kind of just leave Clockwork off to his own devices. If he dies, it's going to take a lot of resources for DK to commit to killing him.
Yeah, I don't think Clock is where DK want to focus their efforts, though. To me, it's going to be on either that safe lane or the mid lane.
It's still difficult to aggro try that, though.
Yeah, with the Earthshaker pick. So I like that from Vici. It discourages the aggressive tri-lane, but we'll see what the solo mid is for Vici. Depending on what the pick is, there's still a lot of potential to punish that lane. Oh, we saw quad lane mid in, what was it, Rocks versus Mouse earlier today. There's 3-4 heroes coming mid, and it worked out okay.
So Tree has just been completely ignored, too. I guess neither of these teams like Tree too much. But
I think Tree's overrated, honestly.
I think Tree's overrated, too. But, I mean, there's just totally different playstyle in the East and West.
He can be very effective, but we've also seen a lot of games where the hero just flops completely, and I think a lot of teams are just like, wow, everyone else is picking Tree. It's really annoying to play against. Let's just pick it. But if you don't have a clear game plan for it, then it's not that scary.
Or you just have to have a good Tree player. Like, I think like Godlike and PPD can make Tree work in like almost every situation. so you can just pick it without really having a basis strat around it. But other players, it's like they don't really utilize his early game as well as they could.
Well, he will be ignored this game. Doubt we see either team pick him up at this point. In fact, DK go for the Rubik now, so pretty strong dual roaming combo. They have a fairly self-sufficient solo in the Prophet, and
it's really good to set up kills on Clock. It's one of the few heroes that can just completely negate the cogs by pulling him out, actually using it against himself. Shadow Shaman's decent too.
There's a lot of good spells to steal here as well. Yeah, I think
Fissure.
Fissure is fantastic. Not the easiest spell to steal with the really long range on it, but Earthshaker, if you get sloppy, doesn't cast Enchant Totem, or doesn't actually stun you, then it's pretty easy. And ult's fantastic. Clockwork's abilities can be decent, depending on what you get. That battery assault. But we'll see where both teams go. Neither team has really tipped their hand as far as how they want to approach this game. And, well, classic Vici. There's your Pugna pick. So I wonder what they're going to run mid now. But this looks to be that tri-lane, let's take all the towers by
could be
20
solo
minutes.
Pugna. Super plays Pugna a decent amount. So DK with a Rubik pick pretty much means that they're not going to aggro try. I guess they probably weren't going to anyways, but that'll make the laning a lot easier for Vici.
Do you like solo mid Pugna? I don't think it's as strong as safe lane.
It's okay. Super plays it really well. His Pugna, his Storm, and his DK are really good. Other ones are just like decent / average.
You do get early levels, but he's very gankable. He has high base move speed, but he's still very squishy.
Yeah, against an Enchantress and Nature's Prophet, probably not.
The other thing is you can't push with the double wave catapult the way you can on the safe lane. So I feel like it's plus you one of 2-3 heroes there, so I feel like it's not as strong for his strength, which is
Ench
pushing.
and AA can't really push anyways. So like if
ES and AA, you mean?
yeah, ES and AA.
Yeah.
So if NP just utilizes his treants very well, I don't think they'll be able to get an early tower.
Well, DK got a Kunkka, and this hero very good at stopping pushes once he gets level 6. Looks to be that Mushi hero for mid, and it's a nice setup for the Enchantress creeps as well. If you get normally I guess nowadays it's the 3 points in X and instant boat, torrent, guaranteed both will hit, and with the 400 damage, 1 minute cooldown AoE ultimate, it's at level 6. Pretty ridiculous.
It's also really good to deal with Vici's burst. They have like AA ultimate, like Fissure and Pugna Ward and Pugna Blast. If you can survive that initial volley and not get shattered due to Kunkka boat, then they can win team fights. Their team fights really poor otherwise though.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
that's where it's good. Kunkka has low cooldown, so he can fight often. He's a one-man team
5
fight.
seconds remaining.
In theory. Vici will ban the gyro. I like this a lot. This is one of the ideal carry partners for Kunkka because, again, low cooldown ultimate. Hero can fight all the time. He does need a BKB, but he's also just a very good defensive carry against pushing. And yeah, Vici's other 3 heroes don't push hard, but you pick Pugna, you want to take towers. Bottom line. What do they go for here?
I think a DK would have been ideal for them, but it's been banned out already. And DK is definitely scared of the push. They've already banned out 3 pushing heroes, 2 in the latter half of the banning stage. So
10
other
seconds
pushers that
remaining.
work well.
They even banned Lone
Necro
Druid, so yeah,
5
DK are
seconds
very
remaining.
much trying to slow it down, and Vici will go for a Life Stealer. So it ends up just being kind of a
DK's
casual
turn to
Pugna.
pick.
Casual mid Pugna. Vici does do this a lot though. They just Pugna, Mac, and start 5 manning. They love 5 manning. Lifestealer, he isn't susceptible to Enchantress ganks, so AA and Earthshaker can just kind of play passively, but Lifestealer's not really going to be the target anyways, especially if they safe lane try, and I doubt that Vici will aggro try. That's a pretty weak aggro try. So, I don't know. I'm not the
10
biggest fan of the
seconds
Lifestealer pick.
remaining.
It's not a good going aggro try against not only Enchantress but also Prophet, who then gets
Yeah,
1v1 is very risky.
It'd be a terrible idea for them.
Reserve
What else
time.
can they do? So if they just run the Lifestealer defensive tri-lane, Lifestealer this game is actually not too bad though. Rubik's pretty vulnerable to him. Kunkka is pretty tanky, and they'll get another tanky hero in the Viper. So, with this Viper pick, it may not be the best Lifestealer game. He's nice against X though, if you time your rage
Yeah,
right.
but that's pretty much all he offers, I would say.
X him, man. Do it.
Easy rage. Just bait it out. So I would say I like DK's lineup a little bit more. Vici seems like a little bit more one-dimensional, like Lifestealer plus Clockwork. There's not terribly great synergy there unless you want to infest the Clockwork. You generally don't want too much melee with Clock.
They have that Decrepify and Ice Blast combination.
Decrepify.
One
Echo.
hero wants to be right on top of you, the other wants to be across the map. I don't know. It does feel a little awkward.
Yeah, DK has a little bit of a greedier draft. I say they have better late game, and they're a little bit lacking on team fight. So Vici could
10
potentially
seconds
punish them for
remaining.
that. But they still have a pretty good early game with Anshin and NP.
Yeah, Nether Ward this game.
seconds
How strong
remaining.
is it gonna be?
Not very.
It's annoying for I guess like Enchantress a bit, but yeah, most of these heroes are they're tanky or just won't care. And DDD says MMY. I guess we're gonna have a quick remake.
Cool.
So you excited, Ben? We've got some good games today. By the way, Cloud9's playing later.
Mm-hmm.
Believe you'll be casting that Cloud9 versus DK the rematch, except no Arteezy this time.
I'm pretty.
Wait, no,
excited
they've
with this.
actually no. Okay, that was EG versus DK at Starladder. So Eternal Envy saw DK again, but the rest of the team is not.
DK womp them. Womp.
Well, Lumi went on Twitter during Starladder Season 9 and he said, DK are just lucky Cloud9 isn't here.
He's an EE fanboy.
Fogged, thoughts? He's shaking his head and remaining silent for now. No thoughts from Fogged. Where's Bulbo when you need him? Holy shit! Holy shit! Well, guys, we'll have a quick remake here. As you can see, the players are just chilling. But this is our first match of 6 on the day for WPC. It's day 2 of the LAN finals. It's basically they call it the group stage. It's kind of like seeding games, which then figure out where the teams sit in the bracket. But
Warm games.
the first place from Group A will play last place from Group B. We did Group B yesterday. It was DT who finished last? Is that correct?
I believe so.
I believe it was DT who finished last.
DT or Titan?
IG was first, Alliance was second, or no, maybe it was Titan was...
I don't remember.
Titan or DT was...
I only watched half of them.
Yeah.
I think DT was 1 and 2 though.
I think IG had the tiebreaker over Alliance because they beat them head-to-head. And they had they finished with the same record. So I believe it went IG first, Alliance second, and then I forget if it was DT or Titan third, fourth. But the last place team from Group B will play the first place team from Group A. So let's say Cloud9 wins the group, they would play then DT or Titan, whichever team was last, and then your second place team from this group plays the third place team from the other group, and so on and so forth. And
I think if you're
from there, it's a single elimination bracket.
you really don't want to be last place in Group A. I mean, generally you don't want to be last place, but last place means you face off versus IG, and I think most of the Asian teams much prefer to place the other teams in IG.
Or even Alliance. The Alliance looking, I'd say, a bit revitalized as of late. They took DreamHack Bucharest. They looked decent yesterday.
They looked okay. IG demolished them so hard. It was pretty bad.
Was that the game where they ran the super heavy push strat?
No, it was
That was against Titan. That's right.
it was like a double Midas coming out from Alliance, and they got wrecked in all the lanes, tried to come back for him, and IG just very good at punishing greed.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Alliance can find their way. This is only the group stage. They still finished top 2, so they'll be playing the third place team from this group, which who knows who it could be. Do you have any predictions for the group as we get underway here with the remake?
I would say DK is not first. They've been looking really sloppy. Who's a DK, Vici, Newbie, and who's the last one?
Cloud9.
Cloud9. I could say Cloud9 would probably be first. I was thinking like Cloud9. That's just so difficult.
I'm not sure where Cloud9 fits in, having not seen them much too recently. Not having seen too much of them recently, and not having seen them play against Chinese teams in some time.
But what about the 3 Asian teams then?
I'd say Newbie for sure looks the strongest, and it's not like these teams have had much of a chance to train since Mars TV.
Newbie, Vici, DK. It seems stupid putting DK last though, but the way they've been looking, I think that's where
I could see Cloud9 finishing anywhere from first to fourth. I really have no idea how they're going to match up. They do have the legendary clairvoyance.
I don't think they'll be fourth.
Providing them some strategic insight.
I think Cloud9 will finish top 2.
Okay.
I like their recent bout of innovative stuff.
That solo mid Jakiro, core Jakiro.
It's good. It'll catch teams off surprise. How do you deal with it?
30 seconds to
Ban
go.
Jakiro. Easy. But we'll see. Okay, time to introduce the teams now, guys. It is Vici Gaming versus Team DK. It's only a best of 1. It's a round-robin group stage format. We'll have a total of 6 games today. This is the first. Mushi, going to be playing that Kunkka. One of his signature solo mid heroes. Hasn't played it as much recently. Lanham. On that jungle Enchantress, we've got MMY, or Momoya, handling the Rubik, burning the Viper. And offlane will be Ice 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 on the Nature's Prophet. You can see one camp was warded off here by a Sentry. which Mott was pointing out, handling the observing for this game. And on the dire side, we've got Team Vici Gaming, ROTK, kicked out. He got the boot from DK by burning Sama, but he's had a decent run against him in spite of that since being removed from the team. Sylar on the Lifestealer, that will put FY onto that support Earthshaker. Fenrir handling the Ancient Apparition, and last but not least, will be Super playing the safe lane Pugna. So they are going to run it safe lane.
ISS's getting a lot of information on top lane, blocking his spawns, checking out both supports, seeing what rune has been gotten, and he should be A-okay, although his clarity will be popped.
That wind up, man. He's like, looks like he's throwing a Hail Mary in football.
He actually failed the block, surprisingly. So that's a little more unfortunate for them.
Oh, huh. He just moved it too far away, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty unfortunate. Earthshaker, Ancient Apparition, they're awful at jungling, actually, so you don't want to be giving them those early stacks. Looks like they did block the other camp, and Ice will send in more creeps and get aggressive against the Ancient Apparition. And there won't be any stacking here, and also the big camp will be blocked, and as I say that, Fissure comes out. It's a pretty dangerous lane for Ice. Once you get level 3 or so in the Pugna, you get Decrepify. It's almost a guaranteed cold feed, and by that point, it's a kill.
Yeah, he just needs to keep scouting with the nature's call, and he should be okay. As long as the two supports are on top, though, I think that's a win for DK. So we see a little bit unusual mid, Lifestealer versus the Kunkka.
I like this matchup. It gives the Pugna the safe lane where, I mean, yeah, they're not very good pushing supports, but you can at least get the double wave and the catapult.
I think the Lifestealer in safe lane would be a much more killing threat to
think so?
Ice, though. Yeah, if he just gets like boost and oof, like open wounds will almost guarantee a cold feet proc, and he just does a lot more damage in the lane. But
you do have Decrepify to guarantee the cold feet later on, after a fissure.
Yeah, I suppose it's not as great duration. And I think Lifestealer can make better use of that farm, but we will see.
Yeah, well, Sylar is free farming for now. He's 11-3 against a melee hero like Kunkka, getting a lot of early CS.
The only thing is Lifestealer is not really vulnerable to Ench ganks unless he gets like double troll or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that was the other thing we were discussing earlier. It's just Kunkka is a very gankable solo mid, which is the other reason we don't often see him in that position. But Ice will TP back top lane. The one lane we have not looked at is the off lane for Vici Gaming. We did take a quick look on the camera, but RTK doing a nice job of cogging in the creeps, and he's hit his level 2 so far, which is about as good as you're going to get against this Viper. It's just tower hugging and trying to get the creeps pushing.
Oh, Ice, he's pushed out a little bit too far. He might actually get blocked. Ooh.
There's a fissure block coming out from FY, and he's completely surrounded by battle. Just head down the river. And Super dropping the Decrepify. He goes for the blast. Ice dropping low. One more right click from the Pugna with that above average base move speed. Will secure the kill.
That 320 move speed.
Easy first blood. And that was without a cold feed. It's a scary lane for Ice.
Yeah, this is off the back of Invis or Shaker. So nice movement from FY.
And they actually don't have a ward at the top rune. Did they?
No.
Where's their second observer? They're just holding on to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ench has it in its inventory.
Well, it's pretty unfortunate.
He does have a smoke up. He does have 2 creeps. Looks like he won't be able to get it. Other one. Actually, there's another troll, so we could see the double troll kink. It's a reality.
Pretty scary. And something that can actually kill the Lifestealer. You just wait for that rage, you net him, and...
Oh, Mushi's actually gone for that other build too, the 2-3-0. So
okay, so he did not go for the early points in X.
Yeah, it's a little bit...
This is kind of the old school
It's better versus
Kunkka build.
Lifestealer, right? So you're not going to be able to catch him with X unless he's just extremely careless. And even then, he has Infest once he hits 6.
That's true. And he's pretty tanky anyway, even if you do catch him. DK will make the move top. Smoked up is 2. They've got Ice here as well, though. He doesn't offer a ton to this gank. It's a level 2 Prophet. Doesn't even have the level 3 yet. No points in Sprout, but the supports will come in. Looking for the Ancient Apparition or the Pugna. Either one killable, depending on the opening. Ice is baiting this, and Vici will somewhat fall for it, except the Fissure blocks his Momo Yahweh, and although they toss him back, they don't have the follow-up. The clap will come through. That's on Super. He could have just walked away, but he walks back in and pays with his life.
Not respecting the enchant.
No respect.
It was off cooldown too, and the enchant slow plus Hellburst Smasher slow was a little bit too strong. I think he thought that his move speed was too high to be in any sort of vulnerable position.
Pugna is not a hero that wants to be giving up early deaths. That's pretty costly. Like, it's one thing if you lose the Ancient Apparition or Earthshaker there, but losing your Pugna is extremely painful. He did at least buy his Arcane Boots and Rin and Bassi first, so his farm is still decent. But
I'm surprised that they continue to press on. Like, FY stunned him, and he stunned the Rubik like as his smoke popped, and I thought they would be like, oh crap, they're smoked up here, because Rubik's not going to solo smoke, and They just extend a little bit too far.
In spite of the good early start for the Lifestealer, we see Mushi has caught up nicely, and with the 3 points in the Kunkka cleave, it gets annoying to lane against him, even with the regen that a Lifestealer has. He's still forced to go back to well, heal up, and meanwhile bottom lane, RTK caught out. MMY did throw him back, and one more right click from Burning secures the kill. So DK get on the board early in multiple lanes. They shut down the Pugna a bit. They get a kill on the off lane clock, and they're holding their own mid. So you got to say overall, things looking quite solid here for DK, despite the first blood.
Yeah, and Viper also went for a very aggressive build with 3 in poison attack as opposed to max corrosive skin, which you see pretty often, I'd say. And we see a smoke from FY and Fenrir, except there are eyes on the top lane. Not sure if that smoke was actually seen.
I think it was.
Ice is in a really good position, though. Ooh.
Yeah, those trees also are seeing that there's no supports in the jungle. His tree ants near that dire sentry ward, they just died, and you don't see the supports there. It's right around the time when the rune spawns. You play it safe, so good positioning from Ice, and he's recovered nicely since the first blood.
The blast does ridiculous amounts of damage combined with the Icy Vortex, too.
Yeah. The Decrepify plus the Ice Vortex, that's going to leave a mark. And they will go for the push now. They actually pop Chilling Touch to try and remove these creeps. So they're just going to be drawing the wave back.
Too good with the Treant micro. They won't get like any damage on this tower, which is pretty unfortunate. Pugna has hit level 5, but the 2 supports haven't really been able to get that much experience. We see Ench level 4, Rubik almost level 5 too. So they're picking up a little bit more in terms of experience than the Vici supports.
Well, Prophet going to start denying a few creeps, and for now, you look at Vici Gaming, and they still have Lifestealer bombs, Ancient Apparitional, once it comes online. But how are we doing in terms of level progression for this AA? He seems like he's probably a bit under level.
4.5.
Oh, 4.5. Okay, that's not too bad.
Earthshaker's only 3.5 though.
I think that's the key for them in the mid game. It's like the Pugna pick is okay for taking these towers, but it's really the Infest bombs and the AA ult that
Why
are going
is
to find
Sylar
kills.
rotating? What's the Lifestealer going to do versus push? Maybe deny, but no. I mean, he's just wasting his time. He's just giving him Mushi free reign in mid, and Sylar just straight walks back to mid. I have no idea what his plan was there.
While that was happening, it looks like they did find the kill on Ice Ice Ice. He got fissured into the Nether Blast, and will go down. And now Vici on the back of his death may actually be able to threaten this tower. First blast blocked by the Glyph, and they'll go for some more. I don't think they kill it here, but they should be able to do some decent ship damage. Catapult kept alive for now. Let's see if they want to tank the wave a bit.
On bottom.
RTK caught out once again in the cogs, and
wow,
he will fall.
There was a cog right here. He killed this cog, and then he got blocked by the tower. That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, he's not having a fun time in this lane. Well, DK continue the siege, and Vici will try to trade, but a team with Pugna not even trading favorably in terms of towers is quite a concern. You're supposed to run this here and get ahead, not give up the first tower and still not have pushed your own safe lane.
And Sylar's just getting harassed non-stop in mid. Mushi's pretty much has free reign in the lane.
Don't forget about that Nether Toxin on towers. It's nothing to laugh at here. As Burning will finish it off. He's got 2 points up in it now. Oh, sorry, still got 1. And they will take 2. That's a tri-lane Viper who's now taken 2 towers. Pugna's still sitting at 0, and you gotta wonder what Vici's planning on doing. They need AO and they need to start ganking with hookshot. I feel like that is their main
they need to
option
do a lot
right
of
now.
things. They need to push with Pugna. They need to get a blink on Shaker. They need to get level 6.
Blink on Shaker is probably a ways off here. Yeah, we're 1,700 gold out from that.
But I mean, he's what's he gonna do? Walk up to a Viper and be able to do that? Like Viper can just completely keep him from casting Echo in reasonable positions.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah, and also makes like Fissure really easy to steal because he's not gonna be very high level.
And Sylar, although he's been annoying to Mushi's kept up in terms of farm, and well, you look at the hero's mid-game impact, you know the Kunkka is going to do a lot with his max AoE.
ROTK setting up for a hookshot. They know he's there, though.
This is not the easiest kill. Kunkka...
Look at Bernie. He's pushing the T3s. Like, what? Vici doesn't have a response for this Viper. Like, look how aggressive he is. Look how far away the tower is.
He's got a mech already. It's 9 minutes. Mech treads.
Well,
if they kill him, it's going to take probably 3 or 4 heroes, at which point his team will probably make a better trade elsewhere anyway.
He's literally almost beating on the tower like sub 10 minutes in the game. The tier 3 tower. How absurd is that?
Yeah, if they had the Ancient Apparitional, I think he'd be a little more worried. But he pushes the lane into the base, so now they're going to triple smoke towards top.
Oh my goodness.
And this looks bad
if
for
they get
Vici.
this off, like Vici, oh my goodness. They're really running low on options if this gank is successful.
Oh, the wraparound's going to come now, and Vici are not aware whatsoever with bottom lane nearly at the base. They're actually diving for Ice 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 here. Looks like they'll probably get the Prophet, although Ice 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 will get his ult off in time, and now the wraparound closes in. They're about to hit pay dirt. They'll start it off on Super. Lifted up, instantly brought down. He was zapped. I don't think they needed the Viper ult there, but whatever. They get the kill. They'll look for RTK. He'll fall to this poison as well. The Enchantress creep finishes him off. Nicely done. The Prophet buys back, and easy 3 kills. They do lose the Prophet. And I believe Vici got the tower last hit.
Yep.
But still well worth it.
ISSI's bought back. I guess that's a minor consolation, but at the same time, you have Viper and Kunkka who can easily pick up the slack if ISSI's is even a tad bit underfarmed.
I feel like the Pugna pick is just very underwhelming if you don't have a good lineup to really take advantage of it. Like, they have this Ancient Apparition Earthshaker. What do you do with those 3 heroes?
They're all 3 like really level dependent too. And
as Fox pointing out, Decrepify and Lifestealer are not good friends.
yeah, I didn't really like the Lifestealer the last pick, but
They were I wouldn't say cornered, but they were somewhat limited in terms of like their go-to heroes. The DK ban I think was really smart, and meanwhile drive-by poke from Ice 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 will just crush Fenrir. What can you really do?
man, DK is just ridiculously far ahead in this game, and Vici, they got 1 tower, but they traded 3 of their lives to do so, and Super's already died 2 times. He does have his mech, but that's really not that early compared to how early Viper got his.
You know, the other thing Vici could have gone for, which they have run a lot in the past, is just something like an Alchemist. Maybe you just put Sylar on the Pugna, because he has played it before, and you just run Super Alch. That is a much better combo than this Lifestealer Pugna.
Yeah, I don't really see where Lifestealer fits in at all. He's 0/0/0. He has Midas and Phase, but Viper actually going for a bit booster.
This Viper's huge. He's got 1,300 health, level 4 corrosive skin. Maybe they can kill him with the whole team. Ancient Apparition will find in. Burning didn't pop his mech in time. He will be trapped in the cold feet, but the boat arrives. Mushi brings in the reinforcements. Burning still stands strong. Will finally shatter. That is a very big kill for Vici, but it may come at the cost of some others. FY dropping low. The Echo Slam thrown out, but he gets cleaved down by Mushi. Actually, Lanham finishes him off, and from the backside, Ice 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 once again just prods at one, and we'll find the kill there. Are they going to sprout Sylar? Indeed they are, from the low ground to the high ground. No Quelling Blade either. He's trapped up in this Sprout, now pulled back in by an X. He doesn't have rage. For a few seconds, he gets stomped, and he will go down. It's a team wipe. Casual, 12.5-minute team wipe.
Nice Fissure Steal from Rubik. Secured the kill on Pugna and definitely almost killed the Earthshaker there.
That Viper takes whoa, wow. Ice Ice Ice. Just getting a little cocky. Rip indeed. He did not account for the Rocket plus Fissure combo. But end of the day, Vici Gaming all their core heroes are dying. Pugna, Lifestealer not having great games, and they're just not taking objectives with a Pugna early. Like, what's the point of the hero if you're not taking towers? They've gotten the 1 top at 13 minutes.
Viper's gotten a lot of hate, but I think if he's this farmed, he's pretty good. I'm actually not a Viper hater. I hate seeing the hero, but I think he's decent. Like, he's big enough where you can't ignore him, but if you focus him, you're surely going to lose the fight.
I know it was like a very late Viper as well. I think it was 5th pick Viper, was it?
Yeah, it was 5th pick.
5th pick after they gone Lifestealer. Like, to me, that's a good time to pick Viper. If you know the hero is not otherwise going to be punished. Going for a 2nd pick, that's where it can be questionable. But this was a good Viper game. And they'll continue the siege, burning in the front lines, just begging for them to hook him. It's a recipe for trouble should they choose to do it.
Smoke around, see 4 Vici heroes. How are they going to initiate with this, though? Ice 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 probably in the most vulnerable position once he TP's in. Okay, now it's just burning.
Although Fisher's going to find burning, and with the Nether Blast there, he drops very quickly. The boat will come through. They do lose the Viper off the bat. Nicely done by Vici. Dropping low in the front lines to Sylar. He does have an Infest, though. Can he make his way on time? Imps crashing through. He needs an Infest. Super just runs away. Hangs him out to dry. He won't have a target. Super, please. Now RTK will be caught. They're going to lose more than just this. He drops the cogs. He gets zapped down by MMY. Now, Ice 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 will fall. The turnaround might come here from Vici. It's a 2 for 2 thus far. The life drain looking for that 3rd kill, and MMY will find him with that long range. Gives him the suck. And now Lamb forced to retreat out. Is there a Fissure cooling down here? There is. He's also got an Echo Slam. No, they're going to back off. They look for Mushi instead. And DK might just throw away this advantage they had. They were leading, I believe, 12-5. Now it's about to be, if he shatters, just off the mark on the blast. Oh, he'll live, but barely. It's 14-9 all of a sudden, and they did take the tower mid while that was happening.
The mech is just not terribly useful on Viper. Every time he just gets stun locked until AA ult hits, and he can't really tank that up. I think he needs like a pipe or just a little bit more HP in order to just be out in front like that, like the way he's been playing.
Both teams feel a little, I don't know, sloppy. Yeah, and then he ran away and gave them nothing to infest. Yeah, Fog was saying he nuked the creeps first and destroyed the infest target. Then he ran away, so he really left him out to dry. Yeah. Fog's being told he has to put on a mic if he wants to keep on talking.
Still, DK with a pretty significant tower lead, 7,500 gold in their favor. Checking out Untouchable on the Anch. It is level 4, so Roshan will be open to DK pretty darn soon. Maybe want to secure that T2 tower in mid before they actually attempt it, but look at Ice's treants all around the map.
I do look forward to the day when we get Chinese streams that are more than 360p. It's a little unfortunate. I guess we're just spoiled here in the West. But as you can see, it actually turns out pretty well for Vici, and I think the main thing is this Pugna is easily underestimated in team fights. Very low cooldown spammable AoE nuke. And hits pretty hard.
Yeah, I still feel like Siler just can't do anything, though.
Yeah, it's not a fun
You got
game.
Viper Struck and then Sprouted during the Rage.
The only way he's going to do something is if they infest, Clockwork hooks in, or Earthshaker maybe gets a Blink Dagger and does it. Speaking of which, is he getting close? Do we have an Earthshaker Blink anytime soon?
300 gold. He's really close.
Okay. But yeah, he needs a vehicle. He is not just walking his way into these team fights. That ain't going to happen. They will deward that Radiant Observer that was up on the hill. And despite a very good start from DK, they haven't completely run away with the game by any stretch of the imagination. They are significantly ahead right now, and the Lifestealer does feel underwhelming, but if they take enough fights like that one mid, it could turn.
You got Mushi going to safe build with a BKB, and looks like Nature's Prophet going for a Necro Book, so more mid-game items, nothing terribly greedy coming out from DK. And looks like Viper's also going for a BKB, so mass BKBs.
Well, DK still playing it safe in their own jungle. Not really looking for this next level aggression, whereas Vici, I believe, are about to smoke. 4 heroes back at the base, or very worried about a smoke. They are just not leaving the base right now.
Ping out Ice. He's out alone. He's somewhat vulnerable to smoking. All the heroes on Vici are missing off the map, and looks like they're about to scout out Siler with a Jack-o'-lantern. He's very vigilant about these treants scouting, though. He doesn't use them to farm very often.
Are they smoked up now? Three just left the base, and no, they're going for one soon though.
Probably out of smoke.
They have one on Fenrir. It looks like we will see the infest bomb. Let's see who he chooses as his vehicle. He says, "FY, I believe in you." 5-man smoke from Vici. And looking at the lanes right now, bottom lane at the river, top lane just a bit past it, and mid lane at the river as well. So not terribly obvious. DK also lacking wards, and the enemy jungles, they were dewarded, and now they'll go in on Birdie mid lane. In comes the Echo Slam to start off. FY finds him, and they descend in numbers on the Viper. He just gets blown up. Nicely done by Vici. He'll buy back as well. They look for a trade here. That's a Rocket Flare stolen, and ROTK will go in. Tries to lift up the Clockwork, isolate him in the fight. Siler gets force staffed away, but still dropping low. No infest available as he used it to initiate. Can he make his way out of here? Great fissure by FY. Buys him the time he needs to get out, but might come at the cost of Fenrir. Indeed it will. Down goes the H Apparition. So far, not a bad exchange, and Siler will rage dodge that torrent. Manages to TP up.
He was at like 2 or 3 HP on Lifestealer without armlet toggle. I thought he was dead for sure. Well,
Dire's middle tower
it's close.
is under
Now he has armlet.
I was like, wait, he doesn't have armor. Yeah, I see what you mean now. And he's pretty much got the gold for it. So nice,
ROTK.
nice defensive fissure there, helping keep the other hero alive as well. And ROTK in the end will go down, so he gets lifted up. Now buyback from Super, and DK are caught in a slightly awkward situation, but Burning is very tanky, and he's just going to stand his ground. The Lifesteal chipping away at him slowly but surely. They'll blast again, but he dodges that one. Meanwhile, Mushi to clean up a tower top. They're fighting this. Well, now it's 3v. It's going to be 4v3 in a second. It was 3v3. But the Prophet will be arriving soon. H-Apparition comes through, Burning. Gonna get hit by that Ice Blast, I believe. No, he just dodges it. And Super now the one who's dropping low. He turns on the Life Drain, tries to go to work on Lanham. Cleve will come through as the Decrepify ends. He goes into the Roche Pit. He might get bashed here. He will get bashed! And probably was dead anyway, but definitely going down after that. Meanwhile, on the backside of the fight, we have an Enchantress. Lanham still going to work. Now they sprout up Sylar once again, and Burning jumps in. Infests the creep, but that creep's sure to fall. And, well, with that being said, Sylar, not much to do here but accept his fate. 3 heroes dead after a long and rather clowny fight. DK now looking for that last outer tower, leading 20 to 10.
And Burning lucked out with a regeneration rune there too. Well, that's unfortunate for Vici. That's a disastrous team fight.
I think that's putting it mildly. That's
Yeah,
a 7k gold
that
swing
was awful.
and a 7k
They
experience.
let off with a buyback, which, I mean, you don't really want to be buying back with Pugna this early, I feel like. Well, I mean,
Viper also bought back, but the difference is they got 2 kills, they got a tier 2 top, and they got a tier 2 mid.
he's
And a
just
bunch
so
of kills.
squishy. He has 800 HP. Like, what's to keep him from dying again in a team fight almost immediately?
Well, DK now leading by 15,000 gold. And we're only 21 minutes in. That's like a 750 to 800 gold per minute lead that they're gaining. So every minute, that lead goes up by 800 or so at this rate. That's pretty scary. Boat will fly in bottom lane, just being used to kill off FY here. He gets pulled back in, then Mushi pops a BKB and he'll run him down. Nicely done by Mushi, then actually TP's out. And the hook shot comes in, it hits a creep, unfortunately. Won't cancel the TP.
That's unfortunate.
Some bad luck for RTK.
He's really poor too. Just gone with the mass strength build. 0-6 clockwork. ROTK, I mean, sometimes he just plays like an absolute beast. I don't really feel like it's really on him this game. Rubik just had such good movement around the map and kind of completely shut him down at most stages of the early game.
I don't feel it's mostly on any one player. There was some sloppy plays top lane, but
Yeah,
I think it's just the lanes and the draft mostly.
Slightly better movement from DK supports. Like, if Vici didn't get the Invis rune, I don't even know if they get any kills in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and that was a first blood. After that, DK got a kill in the top lane, they got a kill bottom, and they just started snowballing from that point. Like, what's a Clockwork going to do against a Rubik Viper? That's just a terrible matchup.
What the heck? Burning, decide on a build. I guess he's going for Scepter, but casual Vit booster.
Casual Vit Booster's not bad.
I mean, you can just get a point booster if you want HP, though.
Oh, he didn't know what direction he was going to go. That's true. He could have just gone point booster.
Go Scepter. Ugh.
Yeah. No more orb walking while in ghost form, so that's not so good anymore. But we'll come through on RTK and well, he'll go for the TP out now. Is there anything to cancel this? There's just some damage and the cleave from Mushi with a double damager and just deployed. So they get another kill. And it feels like at this point Vici just don't have many options. The Lifestealer isn't that scary. They're running a Pugno, but they're not taking towers, and their late game is rather weak, to be honest. So I don't know where they go.
Viper and Kunga both are nearing 2,000 HP. On top of that, they have level 3 Null Field and Corrosive Skin and Mech and Ghost Ship. Like, how are they going to kill them? Like, maybe a very well-placed Earthshaker ultimate on, like, 3 people with an Infest into an AA Blast, but that's a long shot. Unless DK just positions very, very poorly. You
can just see DK. They're just parked in the Vici jungle at this point. Farming the jungle, farming the mid lane, farming their own woods, and Vici are just... They're starved at this point. They can't get out around the map. They can't really be active. They can't easily find kills either with how farmed the Viper is. The Kunkka is BKB now.
And a super farm Lifestealer will easily be shut down by Ags Viper.
Yeah, even if he was 5-6 slotted, which I don't see happening this game. I don't know what he can do.
Get a Lincoln's easy.
It's where, like, I feel this draft would have worked a lot better if they wanted to go this direction with something like a Storm Spirit over a Pugna. Like, running Pugna Lifestealer together, there's just no synergy. And then at that point, yeah, maybe Lifestealer shut down by Viper, but your Storm could take over against a lineup that has virtually no disables.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
They just went a different route.
It doesn't really corner them into pushing towers down early, which, if you don't push down towers early with Pugna, it's just not that useful of a hero.
Maybe we'll see that that refresher Ags Pugna. Double life drain.
So that's a Scepter on Burning.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you do as Pugna at this point? You can farm a Hex, you can get a Dagon, but...
Get a Scepter BKB.
Yeah.
Start life draining people.
Yeah, there's so many ways to stun him, though. Like, even with the 0-second cooldown on the ult, I don't know. They can just torrent him, boat him. He's very squishy. Even with an Ags, I feel he's just food.
You can just bait him. Bait him to get the Chaos Dunk.
Well, Maybe that is the key. Maybe it comes down to the Earthshaker.
I think that's pretty much it. Earthshaker and AA, they have to have like a really big combo to win the next team fight.
And MMY is still enraged, so he can just jump in and lift, and they actually can't stop him from initiating. He can blink in, lift somebody, and force staff out. And they can't even stun him. That is actually quite scary.
At least Styler's able to push out lanes. One thing they do have going for them is he can just rage TP out of anything that DK can throw at him.
Well, Vici Gaming are basically just in a holding pattern at this point. Split pushing, spreading around the map, and not really making any plays. They are farming the lifestealer a bit. But
they smoked right as they as the rocket flare came out, so that's really unfortunate.
Well,
They won't get a clean jump.
Well, Vici are they're not retreating that quickly. They're just kind of ambling through mid. They are spotted out by another Radiant Observer ward in the mid lane, and they'll keep on retreating upwards. Do they find anyone here? They do. It's FY. He gets caught by an X. He will drop a Fissure in the nick of time. No BKB from the Kunkka. The torrent comes through, and MMY just jumps in with the rage. Starts right-clicking the Earthshaker down. He will fall. ROTK going for the cogs, but there's no follow-up after that. Super tries to life drain him. He's doing a lot of damage here, but not quite enough. MMY will make his way out, and now the Pugna forced to retreat. They'll probably lose Sylar in this process. He has an Infest. He'll have to use it soon. Infest pops back out immediately, and the GG was sounded. Vici just lost in this game.
That boat. Oh.
Slams it home.
Brutal.
That's just salt in the wound after.
Ouch. Well,
Jeez.
so much for DK being last.
Ouch.
Vici needs a better draft. Better pusher. I think they could have put Pugna mid and put like a pusher.
Like a Death Prophet safe lane.
Or like a Death Prophet in mid and Pugna
Luna.
safe.
Luna was out there.
Yeah, something like that I think would have worked a lot better for them, and it just gives them a lot more 5-man potential, because that's kind of what they wanted to do. Lifesteal was kind of the odd man out, and if Lifesteal doesn't get farmed, they don't have any late game presence either, so they were just caught in a really hard spot with the way their draft.
Yeah, it just felt like a very awkward draft, honestly. I really like Pugna. I think he's underrated, but that's not how you run him. And the Dragonite ban, it just threw Vici Gaming off.
They're almost I think they're the only team that just runs Pugna without a draft based around the Pugna. Like a lot of the other teams will have like Shadow Shaman, Venomancer, a lot of.
I don't think you need to go full push, but you want like at least one other hero to work with him. Like if you could just Pugna Dragonite, you could do I think whatever you want with the last.
Or
three
even
heroes.
like an Ent or Chen, I'd say. Like anything like that would be much better than what happened this game for them.
I guess they went, and that was the thing, is they went H Apparition, Earthshaker very early in the draft. I believe it was H Apparition, Clockwork to start the draft, and then Earthshaker is the third pick.
Earthshaker's a little underwhelming. I think he needs like a slight buff compared to a lot of the current support.
It seemed like they were worried about the Enchantress aggression, so they pick a very strong defensive support, and then DK they had the more flexible opening. They didn't have to go aggressive tri-lane, and Vici were almost drafting for a lane that never happened.
They just pushed down with the Edge. They took down 2 towers in like 8 minutes with a Viper.
Before the Pugna took a tower.
So
that was not good.
That should not happen.
Well, guys, it's a slow start for Vici Gaming here in Group B. Of course, these are only seeding matches, but if you finish towards the bottom half of the group, you're either playing IG or Alliance instead of DT or Titan from Group B. So with that being said, Game 1 is now a wrap. We'll be coming back soon for our next match. Do we have that schedule by any chance, Brian?
Vici Newbie, I believe.
Okay, so coming up next is, like you were saying, Vici Gaming versus Newbie, followed by Cloud9 versus Vici. I think at that point we switch over to the secondary stream because we do have the TI4 EU final day of action coming your way, guys. So
Rocks Kiss VP.
Oh, it's interesting to see the Chinese games, and then you cast like a completely different style. Tree will not be ignored in that series. I think that's for safe.
Illidan. We have schedule.
Casting Illidan yesterday was intense. I can only imagine what the Skype chat was like. But guys, that's gonna wrap up our first match of the day. We've got 5 more games coming your way. You're watching WPC's LAN Finals Group Stage, day number 2. We'll be right back.